Canadians have had enough, and now they're moving with their feet to the U.S. We got lots to discuss today, lots of interesting articles to talk about. Let's get right into it. Number one, high cost of living. Duh. That is probably number one reason why so many Canadians are now leaving to America, filing for their visas. And I can tell you this as a business owner myself, as an entrepreneur. I'm a real estate investor. Bond sold 150 properties in Canada, had a construction business of 13 employees here in Ontario. And unfortunately, we shut it all down, and now we're going to the U.S. Why? Well, we're going to get into all that. But number one, high cost of living. On a personal level, that is why we are leaving, right? Myself, my family, we live in Naples, Florida for the winters. We have so for the past 4 years. We own a home down there for our winter home. While we're living in Florida, I can tell you, everything is much cheaper. Even when converted into our dollars, it is way cheaper, especially gas. Holy shit. Florida is one of the most expensive places for gas in America. Number one is California. Number two is New York. I think literally Florida's third. It is still way cheaper. But when we're driving down through all of the U.S. on the way down, driving through Kentucky, driving through Indiana, driving through Tennessee specifically, has the lowest gas. Last year, I posted videos on my Instagram while we were there. The gas was like 83 cents Canadian with the conversion, a liter. 83 cents a liter in Tennessee. In Florida, it is about $1.05, $1.10 Canadian. Meanwhile, here at that time, last year, it was like $1.60, $1.70 at that time. So that's just gas. But we know gas and oil is everything. If the gas is low, if the shipping cost is low, your eggs will be lower, your meat will be lower, your lettuce will be lower, your milk will be lower. I can tell you that because we live there for 3.5 months, 4 months a year. Yes, all the food is cheaper. All of your clothes is cheaper. Everything is just a little bit cheaper. And when you're making USD, which I just made a video not too long ago about, Americans actually make more. If I remember correctly, this was like last week. Average salary in America is 57,000 USD. Average salary in Canada right now is 53,000. That blew me away. I did not expect that. Normally, for the past like 10 years, Canada's always higher, but our dollar is less. So it's kind of the same. They're making more than us now. We're making less, and their money goes farther. Things are cheaper. America's a bigger economy. Everything is cheaper. So they're making more. Housing is less. Food is less. Gas is less. They're living a way better life, which is why Canadians are starting to get the hell out of here. Number two, job market opportunities. America's diverse, right? Population in Canada is 40 million. Population in the U.S. is 380 million, pushing 400 million. So 10 times bigger. 10 times the amount of jobs, 10 times the amount of houses, 10 times the amount of everything. Yes, the ratios are the same. There's that many people, so, the job opening should theoretically be the same in Canada. For some reason, no. And I'll tell you why. Canadians are, I don't want to say this quietly because I'm in America now. Canadians are smarter and work harder than Americans. Yeah, you're probably surprised about that. Everything comes out of America. Everything. Google, Apple, Microsoft, Hollywood, whatever you can think of, computer chips, technology, everything comes out of America. Everything we use on a daily basis, God bless, thank you, America. However, you'll see when you live there and when you do business there, the top 10% of America is insanely rich, richer than you could ever get in Canada. I can tell you this from living in Naples, Florida. Naples, Florida is a pretty old money area. It's a pricey area. Lots of rich people. Naples is the richest city per capita in all of America, which is why I wanted to live there and have real estate there and own there. But there's the rich there. You will never see rich in Canada like there's there. It is insane. That being said, the bottom 10%, more like the bottom 20, 30%, is insanely poor. You will never see that in Canada. We don't have poor people in Canada. Trust me. You think you're struggling. You think you know someone who's poor. You haven't seen poor until you drive across the U.S. and you start buying real estate and going into the actual cities, not New York, not L.A., not Miami, the real cities of America, towns you've never heard of in Indiana, in Ohio, right? Kentucky. Okay, go to those towns. You're going to see real poor. We don't have that with our economy. So the swings in America are insane. The good, the rich and the bad, but the middle is gigantic, and the middle is lazy and comfortable. And to not be rude, like literally lower education. Like some people, it's normal for people to not know how to read. Like a large population doesn't know how to read. We don't have that problem in Canada. People know how to read. Everybody can read. So what I'm saying is, if you are a savage and you are willing to work and go, you're going to do very well in America. I can tell you that right now, and that's what we're seeing in our business right now. Number 3, taxation disparities. Lower tax in America. Number one reason why we're leaving as a business, getting the fuck out of here. We pay more in taxes than even the highest tax state in America, which is California and New York. We pay more and we get less, right? Oh, is it free healthcare? We got free healthcare. What healthcare? You want to sit in the fucking ER for 8 hours and bleed out and die? Literally. No, I'd rather go to America, pay lower taxes, pay for a good health insurance plan, and still come out on top. So that's the reality. Lower taxes incentivizes growth, incentivizes businesses to expand, to hire employees, and to double down. It's just easier to scale. I can tell. I'm doing it right now. I'm proof of this. In Canada, at any given time, we were flipping and buying about 18 to 20 properties a year. That was insane for Canada. That was high-level investor. Nobody was doing that. That was like, yo, are you crazy? That was very good. That's so pussy if you in America. That's so low. We're on track to buy 100 properties in the next 12 months in our flip business because the scalability is insane. Just this past week, I just posted on my Instagram, we bought 6 houses this week. This week. I could never do that. I was lucky to buy 6 houses in 5 months in Canada. You just can't do it. There's just more people. Healthcare wait times, again, the healthcare in Canada is absolute shit. People are starting to realize, hey, I'm paying 52% taxes. I can't even get in for my cancer screening or whatever I got to do. My surgery, I broke my arm. You know, I got to wait literally like 4 months because it's not a super serious break. You know, okay, maybe not the breaking arm example, but you know what I mean. Like other examples of my knee hurts, you know, I should get knee surgery. I should get hip replacement. Yeah, that takes a year. I know that. My neighbor needed hip replacement. He was literally waiting a year. He was walking like a fucking penguin every day. Like, come on. He needs the surgery now. That's insane. Economic optimism. Obviously, the optimism in America is way more. That's why their economy is chugging along. GDP growth is accelerating very quickly ahead of ours. The optimism is there. It's not as bad. People complain on Twitter and on the news, eggs are more, milk. Yes, those things are more, but in comparison to the amount of money the average American is making, dude, shut the fuck up, okay? You got no problems like you do in Canada and all these other countries, France, Germany, all the other G7 countries. Stop complaining, okay? America is doing very good, and people go, yeah, okay, fine, I get it. That's why they're spending more. The consumer spending is insane, which is what makes the economy go round. Now, that being said, Americans normally do spend until they're dead, until they go bankrupt. We don't do that in Canada. We're smarter. We're more humble. When we are in debt, we pull back on the credit card spending, which is what we're seeing in the data now in Canada. People are reeling back on the spending. That's why our economy is shit. America, not so much. They're still spending like crazy. Their economy is turning. Is it going to come to a point where it's going to hit ahead and Americans are going to go, oh shit, we're in a recession? Yeah, that is coming. The economic recession in America is coming. Canada is in our economic recession now. We're going to be in it a little longer, but it's going to be way less volatile. Whereas America, when it finally does, if and when hit, yeah, probably they're going to get smoked a lot harder economically, but they're going to recover faster. And again, if you're in the middle class and especially upper middle class and up, you ain't got nothing to worry about. You're going to be just fine. Anyway, that is the video for today. What was the topic even on? I just ranted too much. What was it? The Great Canadian Exodus. Yes. Why do you think so many Canadians are leaving for America? Do you want to leave for America? Let me know in the comments below. I'll answer every single question.